All right, thanks for joining us. So Battle Mountain High boys basketball has certainly had a tough season as the Huskies only have 2 wins to their name on the year. But Glenwood Springs was in town and Battle Mountain was looking to turn their season around on the hardwood against the Demons. After a tough season thus far, Battle Mountain High boys basketball was looking to pull off an upset at home over neighboring Glenwood Springs. The Demons of Glenwood were not going to make it easy on the Huskies, however. In the second quarter, Glenwood Springs moving the ball around the court. They get to Alec Klassen, who takes the mid-range jumper and gets it to go for the Demons. Battle Mountain now moving it around. They'll get this one to Cooper Skidmore, who pump fakes, then puts it up, and the shot drops in good for the Huskies. Glenwood Springs back on the move. They'll drive inside and bounce it over to Klassen. He'll secure the 2 points for the Demons and earn a trip to the charity stripe as the whistle was blown. Battle Mountain now trying to get down the court with the ball, but it's picked off by the Demons. They'll go the other way and score with Jackson Irvin. Glenwood Springs' Kale Solers fires and buries the three-pointer, and the Demons are looking hot against the Huskies. On the other end, the Huskies will get it to Alex Matthews, who puts it in for Battle Mountain. Battle Mountain fought hard, but that wasn't enough, as Glenwood Springs would walk past the Huskies 60-44. Now we'll head from Edwards over to Gypsum as Eagle Valley High boys basketball played a game of their own against Palisades, and we're looking to extend a 2-game active win streak to 3. Over in Gypsum, Eagle Valley High was looking to continue their active win streak of 2 games to 3 with a victory over Palisades. Brian Fontana driving inside. He'll float it up in the air, get bodied, so he'll also earn a trip to the line, but the ball will fall in as well, securing the and-one opportunity. Eagle Valley back on the attack. The shot around the Palisade defender by Parker Newbanks is no good, but the rebound is recovered by Caden Kraft, who goes back up and secures the bucket for the Devils. Going the other way, it's the Bulldogs of Palisade. Hunter Howard puts it up, and that's good to go. But he'll also get the whistle to earn a trip to the line to make it a 3-point play. Eagle Valley now back with the ball. Aiden Phelan drives inside, puts the moves on the Palisade defense, and secures another bucket for the Demons. Palisade doesn't like what they see, and the Bulldogs call timeout. Eagle Valley back with the ball. Parker Newbanks gets rejected on the 3-point attempt by Hunter Howard. What a play by Howard. Eagle Valley gave it all the effort, but it wasn't enough in the end as they fall at home to Palisade, 53-71. After those 2 games, let's take a look at our current boys basketball standings here in the Valley. Starting things off with the Battle Mountain Huskies, who most recently lost to Glenwood Springs. From the highlights we just showed you, the Huskies are sitting at 2-15 on the season and have now dropped to 0-2 in league play. Battle Mountain is currently on a 3-game losing streak, and they'll play their next game against Steamboat Springs. Eagle Valley High just had their 2-game active win streak snapped the other night as they fell to Palisade at home. Eagle Valley now sits at 10-8 on the season, and the Devils are batting .500 in league play as they are 1-1 on the year so far. Eagle Valley boys basketball will play their next game against Battle Mountain. Now we'll head back to Edwards, where 2A school Vail Christian is batting .500 on the year. The Saints are 6-6 on the season and 3-2 in league play. Vail Christian is currently on a 1-game skid, but before that loss, the Saints were on a 4-game winning streak. Vail Christian boys basketball will play their next game against Custer County. Now, Vail Mountain School has played a solid season so far this year. The Gore Rangers are 7-5 on the season and 2-0 in league play. Not to mention, this team is currently coming off a forfeit win over Lotus School for Excellence, which, that's a 1-game active win streak by definition. The Gore Rangers play their next game against North Park. Now, over at Vail Christian, the boys basketball team has a brand new head coach that the team is pretty excited about. So here's our conversation with the new man at the helm, Andrew Newman. So we're with the new head coach of Vail Christian basketball, Andrew Newman, and Coach, you got a new season in front of you. What's kind of the expectation there?
Well, it's really hard to say right now. We're a very green, very young team, but we're super excited. A lot of great kids, a lot of work ethic going on, a lot of effort going in, so we'll see what happens.
Okay, and I was telling you this earlier when we were chatting just a minute ago, but you know, you guys may be a newer team, but it seems like the chemistry is already there. Do you feel like you guys already kind of have that camaraderie on the team?
Yeah, for sure. A couple of the seniors in particular are doing a great job leading us, so they're building that chemistry from the top down, and then the younger guys in each of those classes, there's a couple kids that are really leading their classes, so I'm really happy to see this early in the season, this kind of chemistry.
Okay, in what ways will those seniors come together? You mentioned you have three, Jack Pryor, Will Newman. How do you think those guys are going to kind of come together and lead this team this season?
Well, they're going to have to really put in a lot of effort on the court, probably getting a lot of minutes out there. Hopefully everybody stays healthy, but it's more their leadership off the court that matters. They're doing a great job really leading these guys and building that chemistry, especially encouraging the younger guys. You know, when you're new to high school basketball or it's your first time on varsity, there's a lot you got to learn. There's a huge learning curve, and those guys are doing a great job encouraging the younger players.
And you may be new to the head coaching role, taking over the helm of this Vail Christian program, but you're not new to the team by any standard. You've been here 2 years, got the torch passed over you from Coach Coons. What was that moment like to be kind of handed the role of this program that's been successful in his 23 years here, to be that guy that he wanted to take over the helm?
Yeah, that was a huge honor. Really grateful for everything that he's done for this school and for this program. And like you said, 23 years, he's built a winning culture, a winning program, a great chemistry. We're going to be keeping a lot of the things that he did and just try to build on the great foundation he's already created.
Okay, and you mentioned, you know, not a lot's going to change. That winning culture is hopefully going to stick around too with you at the helm. But what things may change under your leadership? We're
going to keep trying to maintain a pretty high tempo. You know, this valley is a valley that has a lot of great athletes. We've got a lot of great athletes on this team, so can work really hard to keep pushing the tempo and you know, really working to have a high character team that in everything we do, we're trying to reflect the values of this school.
Okay, and you mentioned you got a scrimmage with Battle Mountain coming up. Obviously, that's an exhibition game against, you know, another Valley team, so you probably want to do pretty well in that matchup, but what kind of makes that a good game from y'all, how you show up against Battle Mountain?
Well, it's going to be interesting because we're only going to have about 6 practices with this green group of guys before we hit that scrimmage, so we're still learning each other's names, let alone all the offenses, defenses, so a lot of it's just going to be going out there and playing good basketball. It is fun, though, to be playing inter-valley teams. A lot of these guys play together in the off season, so they all know each other, and so what's really fun is those friendships, knowing the coaches, knowing the guys, the friendships off the court, and then you get on the court, all of a sudden game's on, it's competition, and even though in a scrimmage, you know, you're not supposed to keep score, I can promise you every one of our guys, their guys, they're going to know the score in their own heads, so we'll have a good time.
And speaking about playing, you know, inter-valley teams, you guys play Vail Mountain School twice a year. That's the big rivalry in this valley for y'all. What's it going to be like, you think, just getting on the court as the head coach of this team and playing them this year for your first time at the helm?
Yeah, this year we're going to be playing them at their gym. Their gym is always packed. It's a tight gym. It'll be a full house, I'm sure. And like you said, it's an in-valley competition, so this should be a really good time. It's going to be a tough game. They always play a tough game. They're a very well-coached team. They're very strategic in the way they play the game, so it's going to be a really tough game for sure.
How have you kind of grown to appreciate this rivalry between Vail Christian and Vail Mountain School in your 2 years prior to taking over this team?
Well, it's always one of the games we have circled on our calendar, and I'm sure they do as well. It's just a good time. I mean, off the court, you want to be able to say you won that game this year, you know, so they'll have a great program. They always have a great program. Hopefully we'll be strong as well, and it should be a really tight game.
Okay, and you mentioned Plateau Valley this season as being a big contender. Obviously, you may have a little bit of a sour taste in your mouth after last season, but what are you looking to get out of that matchup this year with them?
Well, we're going to learn a lot where we stand. They're third game of the season, so we have the home opener, and then we've got them on the 5th of December. And as you mentioned, they beat us twice in a row last year, 2 out of 3 games in a row. So that'll be a really tough team. They've got most of their starting lineup returning from that state team that went to state last year, and it'll be a really good way for us to find out, you know, where we stand compared to the rest of the conference, and where we stand even in terms of being a potential state contender.
And this may be the hardest question I ask you all day, but if you could just narrow it down, what do you think you're looking forward to the most in this new season?
Wow. I just honestly enjoy being on the court with these guys. I mean, it's an awesome group of guys. I've mentioned I grew up in a gym basically with my dad being a coach, and so the chance just to be in the gym with a great group of guys, obviously the competition, doing a little bit of mentoring along the way, and I hope we get a couple wins as well. That'd be great.
Awesome. Thanks, Coach. Anything you want to add?
No, just grateful for the opportunity.
All right, thank you.
Awesome, thank you.
After talking with Newman, it seems like the team and himself are pretty excited about this season. They're not doing too bad right now. As the Saints sit at 6-6 on the year, there's definitely room for improvement, but not a bad start for the new head coach, Andrew Newman. Make sure to continue following along with us as we'll bring you all the latest sports coverage here in the Valley and beyond. We'll see you next time.